Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing, and you can see we're going to start going into all the laws and the documents of the laws that are starting to be introduced and starting to pass certain parts of the state house, the Senate, the United States federal government. And we're going to have to get really in depth on this because this is going to play a key role in what's going to go on as we go into a cashless society and a cashless system over the next couple of years. And you can see today we're just going to look at California AB 2269, which is funny that it's 69, passed Assembly on 5/12/2022. Existing law, the Money Transmission Act generally prohibits a person from engaging in the business of money transmission as defined without a license from the Commissioner of Financial Protection and Innovation. The bill, the Digital Financial Asset Law on and after January 1, 2024, prohibits a person from engaging in digital finance asset business activity or holding itself out as being able to engage in digital finance asset business activity with or on behalf of a resident unless any certain criteria are met, including the person is licensed or registered with the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation as prescribed. The bill defines digital finance asset to mean a digital representation of value that is used as a median of exchange, unit of account, or store of value, and that is not legal tender, whether or not denominized in legal tender except as specified. This bill, among other things, authorizes the department to conduct examinations of a license as prescribed and required a licensee or registrant to maintain for all digital financial asset business activity with or on behalf of a resident for 5 years after the date of activity, certain records including a general ledger posted at least monthly that list all assets, liabilities, capital, income, and expenses of the licensee or registrant. The bill authorizes the department to take an enforcement measure against a licensee, registrant, or person that is neither a licensee nor registrant but is engaging in digital finance asset business activity with or on behalf of a resident in any certain instances, including the licensee, registrant, or person materially violates provisions of a bill, a rule adopted, or order issued under the law, or a law of the state other than the bill that applies to digital finance asset business activity of the violator with or on behalf of a resident. The bill prescribes certain civil penalties for violation of the provisions. The bill requires a license or a registrant before engaging in digital finance asset businesses activity with a resident to make certain disclosures to the resident, including a schedule of fees and charges the licensee or registrant may asset, right? So this is all going to start to complicate things in buying and selling crypto, trying to use it as currency. They're going to have boatloads of red tape, and they're going to start to really hammer down on this as we go into 2024. You notice how that's when this goes into effect. This goes into effect in 2024 on January 1 because that's when the federal government and the Federal Reserve are going to start to introduce and roll out the Fed dollar coin that I call it, or the CBDC, the central bank digital currency. That's why these laws are starting to come out and they're going to start going in place in 2024. And the general public has not a clue. California AB 2689. The bill authorizes a private or public entity in the state to accept virtual currency as defined as a method of payment for provisions of any goods or services, including any government services. The bill defines public entities for these purposes to include the state and every state entity, including the legislature, the judicial branch, the University of California, and the California State University, and political subdivisions of the state, including a city and county, charter city, charter county, school district, communities, college district, joint power authority, joint public agency, any public agency, authority, board, commission, or district. And the reason they're doing that, the bill authorizes a private or public entity in the state to accept virtual currency, is because, as you know, back here in 2024, January 1, they're going to start to, they're going to have this law that you have to be authorized uh, and be a licensee by the state of California to do digital transactions and digital business for monetary currency. They're going to have their allotment of people that they give privileges to run the technology, to run the transactions, and the companies that are going to implement it and run it for when you want to go and pay for your driver's license in the state of California with a digital currency in 2024. As the CBDC gets rolled out, the state of California will be in cahoots with the federal government to have these software companies and these blockchains that are going to be implemented to run these transactions. They're going to be the ones under this law to give the granted license to the licensee to put their product out there for Joe Schmo to pay for his license to use his digital currency. They're going to pick the winners and losers and who's going to be able to implement that technology and take those transactions to process those payments, to give those goods and services that somebody in the state of California needs to do with their digital currency. And the digital currency that they're going to accept is going to be the digital dollar, right? And the governments are going to pick the winners and losers, and they're already laying out the laws and the groundwork to be rolled out as they start to implement this kind of stuff. California SB 1275, the bill authorizes a state agency to accept cryptocurrencies as a method of payment for the provisions of government services. And then they're going to use these people that they've given the licensees to use their blockchains, their businesses, their technologies to accept and to do the transactions for the state of California to give them the goods and services that they need, right? So this is going to be a very insightful, very an educational and informative way to look at the laws, to try to figure out who's going to be the winners, who's going to be the losers, and how they're going to do it. And in the next video, we're going to go over what Colorado's doing, right? Like, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell notification on my YouTube partner channel, or hit that heart button here on TikTok. Peace and love to you, yes, you, the informed audience.